Every concealed carry conversation eventually circles back to one uncomfortable truth. When you actually need a gun, a full-size pistol probably won't be on you. I learned that lesson the hard way, cursing a jacket pocket full of keys while my mid-sized 9mm sat in the glove box. Most of us downsize for everyday carry, but are you betting your safety on a tired, 6-shot pocket 380 with outdated sights and a grip that pinches? In 2026, you don't have to compromise nearly as much. A new wave of micro and mini pistols combines serious firepower with genuine shootability. These aren't just range toys. They're last-ditch life preservers for parents walking through dark parking lots, backpackers crossing sketchy trailheads, and anyone else who wants liberty in a smaller footprint. The stakes are clear. Carry comfortably or risk not carrying at all. Which pocket pistol will actually ride with you every day and work when you need it? Let's count down the 8 best options and find out. I've always had a soft spot for underdogs, and number 8 on this list certainly fits that description. Picking up the Beretta 30X Tomcat for the first time was like handling a piece of Italian art. The walnut grips feel carved more for a Beretta shotgun than a deep concealment pistol. And yet the confidence it inspires is real. The reason this quirky 32 ACP made the cut is its ingenious tip-up barrel. I got one for my wife, who hates racking stiff slides. With the Tomcat, you push a button, flip up the barrel, drop in a round, and close it. An 8+1 capacity and a DASA trigger give it more capability than many vintage pocket autos. On the bench, its 2.8-inch barrel and 5.3-inch length translate to surprisingly mild recoil and solid practical accuracy. Straight blowback recoil, coupled with suppressor height sights, keeps muzzle flip low. Though if you grip too high, the chunky slide can nip your hand. In real-world use, it's accurate enough for center mass shots at 15 yards and reliable. The redesigned frame and push-button release cured the cracked frame issues of its predecessor. Would I pocket it over a Micro 9 every day? Probably not. But for folks with limited hand strength or for anyone who geeks out over tip-up designs, this Tomcat is a joy. And yes, threading the barrel for a suppressor on a gun small enough to fit in a jacket pocket is delightfully ridiculous. Sliding into number 7 is a familiar name with a major glow-up Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 382.0. This little double-action-only 380 earned its place because Smith & Wesson finally addressed the 2 main gripes about earlier models. The 2.0 stretches the mag to hold 10+1 standard or 12+1 with an extended base plate, and a flat-face trigger that's miles better than the gritty pull on the original Bodyguard. When I first shot the new version, I actually laughed. The improved texturing and Armor Knight-coated slide make it feel like a scaled-down M&P, rather than a cheap throw-down piece. The core specs remain Micro 5.3-inch overall length, 2.75-inch barrel, around 4.1 inches in height, and a featherweight 11.9-ounce unloaded frame. In plain terms, it disappears in a cargo short pocket and rides comfortably in ankle rigs. On the range, you'll feel a snap because physics doesn't take a day off. But the improved grip texture helps keep the little gun anchored, and the high-visibility sights get you on target fast. I ran defensive loads through one with 0 stoppages, and the last round hold open sets it apart from its Ruger rivals, compared with the old 6-shot version. This upgrade feels like strapping a turbo to a moped. It's not the sexiest pistol here. But if you value a Dow trigger, reliability, and a tiny footprint, the Bodyguard 2.0 quietly deserves your attention. At number 6, nostalgia meets modern reliability in the Kel-Tech P32. The first time you slip this 6.6-ounce 32 ACP into a pocket, you'll wonder if you forgot it. That ghostly weight is exactly why it's on the list, where many micro pistols rely on direct blowback and punish your hand. The P32 uses a short recoil, locked breech system that tames muzzle flip. Its specs sound like a toy 5.07-inch length, 2.68-inch barrel, 3.5-inch height, and 0.75-inch thickness. Yet this little 7-round pistol punches above its weight. My first range session with the P32 reminded me why 32 ACP refuses to die. At 10 yards, it clusters rounds into a playing card, and the minimal recoil lets you work the double-action trigger quickly. The 5-pound pull is long but smooth, and the Gen 2 model adds conventional sights and a beefier extractor. Curing extraction issues. Carrying the P32 feels like carrying nothing at all. I've worn mine jogging, in gym shorts, and even tucked in a boot. It's so thin that it hides where even a slim 9mm prints. Of course, you're trading power for comfort. 32 ACP isn't a fight stopper, but 8 rounds from a gun you actually carry beats a full-size pistol at home. Think of the P32 as the pocket knife of handguns, always there. Surprisingly capable, and way more useful than its critics admit. Our number 5 pick goes to a pocket pistol that feels like a mini Glock 19, the Glock 43. When Glock finally released a single-stack 9mm, I bought one out of pure curiosity. It quickly became my summer EDC. What earns its place on this list is Glock reliability in a truly svelte package. The specs read 6.26-inch overall length, 3.4-inch barrel, 1.06 inch width, and just 18 ounces unloaded. The grip is shorter than a 43X and holds 6+1 rounds, but the width makes it feel like a slightly thicker smartphone. In practice, it shoots like a Glock should. The safe action trigger is predictable. The beaver tail lets you choke up high, and the dual recoil spring helps manage snap. From a bench, it keeps 3-inch groups at 15 yards, and I've never experienced a malfunction with a wide variety of ammunition. The downside, of course, is capacity. 7 rounds of 9mm feels limited compared to P365 class pistols, and larger hands might need the magazine with a pinky extension to prevent dangling digits. Still, its simplicity is a virtue. There are fewer levers to snag when drawing from a pocket holster. And the Gen 5 models offer improved sights and grip texture, for those who prefer Glock's ecosystem and want a tiny 9mm that won't jam. The G43 remains a solid bet. It's like the old dependable pickup truck that keeps running long after your neighbor's flashy car is in the shop. Landing at number 4 is a micro-compact that took the world by storm, the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus. I vividly remember opening the case and realizing that the original single-stack Shield had just been rendered obsolete. The Plus yups the ante with 10+1 flush capacity, or 13+1 with an extended magazine, all while retaining a 3.1-inch barrel and roughly 6.1-inch overall length. That means it fits where the original did, but carries nearly double the rounds. In hand, the improvements are obvious. The 2.0 style grip texture locks in without sanding off your skin. The flat-faced trigger has a short tactile reset, and the slide serrations are easy to grasp. I took mine through a 500-round class with 0 stoppages, and the ergonomics allowed accurate 2 to 3-inch groups at 10-15 yards. Recoil is snappy but vertical. The aggressive texturing and extended base plate help you control it better than many Micro 9S, compared head-to-head with the P365 and Hellcat. The Shield Plus is slightly larger and lacks a factory optics cut on the base models, but the trigger and shootability are arguably superior. If you have medium to large hands and want Glock-like reliability, with a more refined trigger, the Shield Plus deserves serious consideration. It's the pistol you could hand to a new shooter and watch them succeed. Yet it still fits inside a jean pocket when paired with the right holster, cracking the top 3. The Springfield Hellcat demonstrates how far pocket pistols have evolved. When I first stuffed the Hellcat into an appendix holster, I kept checking to see if it had printed. It didn't. The gun's patented staggered magazine allows 11+1 rounds flush, or 13+1 with an extended base plate, while keeping the width at just 1 inch. Weight is around 17.9 ounces, and the barrel measures 3 inches, making it as small as many single stacks, but with more capacity. Shooting the Hellcat is a study in contrasts. The grip texture feels like skateboard tape at first, yet somehow settles comfortably against your skin. And the U-Dot sight system. A tritium luminescent front and U-shaped rear pops in any light. I found the trigger a bit heavy at 5-6 pounds, and the short grip can feel cramped for big mitts, but the little gun is startlingly accurate. With defensive ammo, it holds fist-sized groups at 15 yards, and recoil is surprisingly mild. Compared to its closest competitor, the P365, the Hellcat offers more rounds out of the box and has an optics-ready OSP variant. Though the P365 wins on trigger feel, If you want maximum firepower and a genuinely small footprint and don't mind investing in a quality holster to avoid accidental slide lock interference. The Hellcat might be your spirit animal. It's like strapping a rally car turbo to a subcompact chassis, not for everyone, but undeniably thrilling. Runner-up status goes to the micro compact that started the capacity wars, Sig Sauer P365. When Sig unveiled it with a 10+1 magazine back in 2018, I immediately questioned whether it would run. After 1/850 rounds through mine, the answer is yes. The P365 packages a 3.1-inch barrel, 5.8-inch length, 4.3-inch height, and 1-inch width into a 17.8-ounce pistol. That translates to a genuine pocket gun that carries more than some compacts. Ergonomically, the P365 feels like it shrank around your hand. The high undercut and slightly tapered grip allow a 3-finger hold despite the gun's height. And the X-ray 3-day night sights are bright enough for low-light use. At the range, it's snappy but controllable. I've hammered quick pairs at 15 yards without losing control, though one-handed shooting makes you appreciate the small slide mass. Slide bite is minimal thanks to the beaver tail, and even with plus P ammo, the short recoil system keeps things civil. What really separates the P365 is its modularity. You can swap grip modules, use 12 or 15-round magazines, mount optics on certain models, and find holsters and aftermarket parts everywhere. For years, I've rotated between the standard and XL grip frames depending on the season. If there's a downside, it's that the trigger can feel spongy compared to the Shield Plus, and the tiny slide can be harder to rack under stress. Still, the P365 remains the benchmark by which Micro 9s are measured. It's the handgun that forced everyone else on this list to step up their game, and that brings us to the champion of 2026's pocket pistol field, Ruger LCP Max. Before the Max, Ruger's little 380s were everywhere, cheap, reliable but cursed with tiny sights and a 6-round capacity. When the LCP Max hit my palm, the difference was obvious. A re-engineered double-stack magazine bumps capacity to 10+1 with the flush mag, or 12+1 with the extended version. The loaded weight hovers around 3 ounces, and the slide sports genuine rear serrations and tritium front U-notch rear sights that rival those on full-size pistols. I've fired several hundred rounds through the Max without a single malfunction, and no shooters who've passed the 1,000-round mark with no issues. Shooting the Max feels like cheating compared to older pocket 380s. The slightly wider grip fills your hand without being brick-like. The recoil impulse is mild, and the improved trigger has a crisp break and short reset. At 7 yards, it produced thumb-sized cloverleafs for me, and the front sight all but glows in low light. When compared to pocket 380s like the Bodyguard or CW 380, the LCP Max's capacity and sights blow them away. Even compared to Micro 9s, it holds its own because the smaller cartridge lets you pack more ammo in a smaller frame with less recoil. The only nitpick is that it still lacks a slide stop lever, so the slide won't stay open unless the magazine is empty. For an ultra-light backup or primary carry in non-permissive environments, I think the LCP Max currently represents the apex of pocket pistol design. It's like trading your old flip phone for a smartphone. You'll wonder how you ever managed without it. There you have it. 8 pocket pistols that prove you no longer have to choose between comfort and capability. From legacy designs like the Tomcat and P32 to the modern heavy hitters like the LCP Max and P365. The pocket gun market is more exciting and more competitive than ever. Remember, the best gun is the one you'll actually carry. Train with and trust. I'd love to hear which of these surprised you or what you're carrying right now. If you enjoyed this deep dive, give it a like. Share your experiences in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more straight shooting firearm reviews. See you on the next one.